respect.
Thank you. Okay, so that was anime. We're gonna swiftly move on to manga. So we'll take it from the top, and everyone will do their honorable mentions, and we'll go to number 5. So Raguel, if you can hit us with some honorable mentions, and we can get it started.
Okay, I've just due to the sheer lack of amount that I read, I only have 2 honorable mentions, and that includes Kulon Generic Romance. It's a show that I feel like nobody knows a lot about, but it's something that I really enjoyed, and it's like a dystopian town that has kind of is very nostalgic. The panels are beautiful, very futuristic, but also have that kind of like familiar feel, like futuristic, but I feel like I recognize how the structures and how things are kind of situated. Very emotional series, but it's also very normal in terms of the activities. You're just following 2 characters in their day-to-day lives, but then there's a hidden mystery behind everything, something that is really going on in regards to the system, in regards to the like what's happening in this place. But also, you know, what is really pulling and holding this together is the fact that an undying love for somebody else, regardless of what happens. And like, there's a lot of mystery. Just in case people want to watch it, I don't want to go too deep, but it is a complex romance sci-fi series, and it's something that I ate up this year, even though I don't know why, but there hasn't been any chapter releases in a while, and I haven't been investigating, so hopefully I get more soon. And in regard to my second pick, I would say MPD Psycho, and it's one of those kind of like dark kind of fantasy serial killer thriller kind of vibes with a lot of like elements of high level, you know, psychology and stuff like that. Multiple personality kind of battle with in regards to the main character, murder, and you follow kind of like a police detective, and they're trying to uncover a mystery or a case that hasn't been done properly, but it kind of spans multiple years. It's very interesting read. It's one where when I read it, I really have to concentrate, especially with the multiple personality aspect, because certain times the character that you think is actually in control is just pretending to be another one of the personalities, and you really have to really kind of be clocked on and grasp so you can understand why certain things are happening. And it's like, obviously there's really good hints and small hints and in the detail in regards to who is the person in control and what is their unique kind of goal and what they are trying to aim for. And yeah, it's one that is very complex, and I think it kind of feeds my my hunger or desire to read some kind of like sophisticated material where I have to really be paying attention. I don't get to read this often, but when I do, it just takes me to another dimension, man. Yeah, those are my 2 honorable mentions.
Those sound quite interesting. Satsuki, what's your honorable mentions?
Yeah, a lot of these are just stuff that I read this year, that I already finished. But my first honorable mention is Akane Banashi. This series got next up. It's sort of filling a void that I had with Act Age, because anybody who's read Act Age or knows about Act Age knows what happened. But for any series that gets me into some type of like something that I've never had any experience with, this one being Rakugo. I've never watched an anime on it, never watched a manga on it, never been really interested in it, but this manga's making it an interesting thing that I'm paying attention to now. And Akane, that's my goat. You know what I'm saying? But this series, I feel like it'll go. It's one of those like release series that you have in Jump. You know, that deviates from the typical, you know, action battle manga thing that you always get. So I'm pretty satisfied with it. But the other honorable mention I have, this is where the agendas come in. It's Handsome Girl and Shelter Girl. It's a year series. Choco knows about it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I feel it. I respect it. Respectable.
It has the stupidest premise I've heard in a while. It's about it's a girl's love series. It's about a girl falling in love with another girl who she believes to be a man the entire the entire time of the manga up to a certain point. It's so stupid because the other girl doesn't even look like a man, at least to me. But it is.
She was born there, man.
She sold herself dreams.
The thing is too is she just doesn't clarify this. It's so stupid. The premise is so stupid. It's one of those misunderstandings that you really can't buy, but it is hilarious. It's one of the funniest girls' love series I've ever read. But yeah, those are my honorable mentions.
Yeah, I would just say that after the clearing up of the misunderstanding, the author was cooking. That's what I say.
Yeah, but it's so I couldn't buy it. I was like, no way, no way.
It was just the length. It just went on for like so long. But that, yeah.
It's funny too because it's really not that long because it's only 14 chapters. But it feels like at some point, no, you had to realize.
Fun series though. If you have time, it's not too long. So, but Ed, honorable mentions if you have any.
Yes, I do. I read a little bit more manga than I watched anime this year, but I mentioned the first one. I have two. Is Beginning After the End. It's a webtoon, and I was binging this, so the ride was really good, the development of the characters. But the reason why I didn't break that top 5 for me is that at some point, when they were like, you want a story to like expand on like its own universe and stuff like that. But it got to a point I was like, huh? What? So I went back, read again because it was making sense. Like it was becoming too like unbelievable almost. Like with some of the things they were like introducing, I was like, wait, what? So I think that's the reason why it isn't. And it made me like take a pause in it a little bit, not drop it, but like, okay, let me come back to it. Maybe I'm not in the right mind state to be reading this confused. Well, maybe it's not that confused. Maybe it's just me, but I was just like, I'm not sure I'm liking the way it's developing this. But when I complete it, maybe when I catch up fully, it might be better. But for now, yeah, Beginning After the End, it's honorable mention. Then my second honorable mention, and the reason this didn't break into the top 5, honestly, is because I felt like it was almost left incomplete. There was some more that I wanted to explore in this story, but they finished it too early, I feel. And that's Tepu. And this is a recommendation from Daniel again. And yeah, I've been loving my sports mangas and animes, and I love the UFC and MMA. And Daniel just told me, like, check out this little series, and I loved it. I read it so quickly, it was amazing. But like I said, it felt incomplete. I thought there's more to be explored. But the way it explores martial arts and the MMA aspect of fighting, it was just beautiful. And it's just a story about like a girl who's like almost uninterested in the sports, but is so good at it, and the way she develops and like she just finds herself in the sport is amazing. And the kind of her rivals, the people she's aiming for, and she finally gets to like be in the same stage and fight. And it's just really good. It's just a shame that they ended it there. because if they kept going, it might be one of the best stories told. Maybe just my intense love for MMA and UFC as well, but it was really good. And yeah, that's my honorable mentions.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Tepe. I think the author went on hiatus for a period of time, so I guess he or she was tired. So, but really great depiction of combat sports. Even for me, I don't really know that much, but I could tell like this was top notch. But
it was good, man. The way he or she was explaining like how to do stuff, like the reasons, and like it was. I was like, wow. Okay, I haven't seen because I'm used to like the Kanganashers and Backies, and it's just like almost fantasize like, you know what, do cool stuff. You don't need to explain why he's doing the cool stuff, but it's cool. That's what you need to know. But this, on the other hand, it's not like, it's more realistic. It's like the high Q of the MMA world, while like Broken and Basket is more like Backy and stuff like that. If that makes a little bit more sense when explaining it, but yeah, it's really good.
Coco!
oh yeah, I'm back.
You gone?
Honourable mentions. Medalist, if you've heard me, you know I love Medalist. Figure skating series, 2 volumes that came out this year. Elite settings. Would have wanted to put on the list, but since I talked about it last year, I figured let someone else take the shine. And then second series I wanted to mention is Perfect World. Reason why I didn't put it on the list is I've only read 1 volume, which is 4 chapters, and I didn't think that was fair to the other series. But what I think is special about this series is the seriousness of what it's depicting. So it's looking at a relationship between 2 individuals, one of them who has a disability, and then it's actually tackling the seriousness of being in a relationship with someone who has a condition, and some of the burden on the partner who's taking care of that person, and some of the things that they might go through, and having to understand the stigma that's attached to that. So I feel if I got further into that series, it would definitely be on the list because it's dealing with adults, and I felt like it's really being respectful of how hard it can be being in a relationship when your partner has a condition or a disability. So those were the 2 things I wanted to shout out, but we'll go to Raguel for his number 5 pick.
Yeah, number 5, Moment of Truth. Putting sports manga back on the map. Blue Lock. I'm surprised that I had it so low, but then again, top 5 is still elite settings unless you're in the World Cup.
In disbelief that is just low.
I'm in shock as well. It was tormenting me. I was really fighting. I was like, and it's even going to be more wilder like later on when we reveal the rest of the list.
I'm looking forward to it because this is our big result.
I know you're going to be questioning, but in terms of Blue Lock, bro, you know, we've been talking about Blue Lock from way back, and it's something that it takes a unique aspect to sports. It's not the friendly friendship, teamwork. Let's work together, make this work, get this goal. It's that selfish, ego. Shout out to Mr. Ego. Like just taking control of your destiny, taking control of a game, using your ability, using others to enhance your ability and get to being the best of the best. And it's a monstrous series. It doesn't make sense in relevance in real life situation. I don't know how it works. I've always tried to do the maths. Like, could this actually work?
No, never.
But it really actually can't work. This team will get pammed in real life. They'll get demolished in real life.
Forget about getting pammed. They'll get cancelled in the first. Like, they walk in the car.
100%. Let me just say this: the person I always feel sorry for is the striker that has to go and goal every time. That breaks my heart.
That's a big violation right there.
You couldn't just rent a goalkeeper. You couldn't just run random goalkeeper. You had to have. It's too much. It's too much. But in terms of like hype and something that will engross you deeply into junior football, it does show a lot of football mechanics. Doesn't really go too deeply into it, but the use of the shading, the panel work, and it makes it so dynamic. I don't know how, but it's visually it's so dynamic, and I think that's what really makes it such an enjoyable read. Yeah, man, Blue Lock.
Respect it.
Good propaganda there. Again, I'll be respectful, so I will not comment. Satsuki, we want to hear your number 5.
Bro, this was a trip down memory lane. I'm so happy I revisited the series. It is Yu-Gi-Oh! My number 5. Yo, I never thought about going into the manga for this because even though I watched the anime, it was more so like the actual playing cards that was my link to the series, and then later it became playing Duel Links on my phone. And then one day I was like, yo, I want to watch I want to read the manga. And I was pleasantly surprised at how good it was. It's not great, but I had a lot of fun with the series. My goat Pegasus, you know what I'm saying? Mai Kujaku, Taya, at least in the first section of Yu-Gi-Oh! It was surprising because I didn't expect an old series like that to really captivate me, because by this time you're already kind of used to like certain tropes and things, because with the amount of manga and anime I consumed, it's just a lot of things just become dated with the times. But I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is still enjoyable, even with my jaded self. So it's my number 5.
Did it bring out the child in you out? Did it just bring it back to life?
At certain points, yeah. Especially when I was in that Duelist Kingdom with Pegasus, yeah. The child definitely came out of me. I was like, the Millennium Eye, bro. Like, nah. I was definitely in the zone.
The drip is still cold to this day.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Goes hard.
For sure.
Okay. Ed, your number 5.
Yeah. I respect the ego pick, man. I need to read it myself. That's a surprising pick right there. I might need to dive into the manga myself. But my number 5, this series almost didn't make my number 5 for the first time, like since we've been doing this. Like this is the 3rd year we've done this. They almost didn't make it for the first time. And that's One Piece. Because everyone knows my love for One Piece. I love the show. It's my favorite of the big 3. But Jesus Christ, this year was difficult at times, because all these decisions in some series, some like moments in the series, like why? Then all of a sudden they ended the one arc. I was like, oh wait, that wasn't Oda writing Wano. That was someone else. He's come back to life now. He's doing like post Wano. He's crazy, because every chapter since Wano, 4.5 out of 10, out of 5 out of 5, like 5 stars. It's been amazing. The like expanding and exploring of the wild, like world building already. Good. More characters introduced, more fan service like clashes and stuff like that. Amazing. But the end of Wano was a struggle. It was a struggle. But I had these good bits, I had spoilers if you guys are like anime only or don't read the series. But yeah, Get 5 was amazing. It was like, wow, intense time. But even the explanation for that as well, like the Gorosei became stupid all of a sudden. Because why? It doesn't make sense how you guys knew this was going to happen. It's like, why didn't you kill him when he was like 10 years old? Or as soon as you knew he had the devil fruit. You waited for him to make it this godly fruit before he's like, oh yeah, by the way, this happened. What? And Kaido, even because of the new chapter as well, the fact that someone has an awakening and he doesn't is just mind-boggling. Then I had my problem with Yamato and their like development and the reason for them staying. But Mama was a good point of. But yeah, this itself deserves like a whole number, like its own episode, because I have highs and lows for One Piece. But the highs are really high, but lows in the depths. But it did well enough to be number 5. Yeah.
In the depths, like Kaido.
Yeah. But one of the best moments was my reaction to Raguel's favorite. I think that just brought me joy, because I knew Raguel would be heated I think it just made me happy just to know Buggy went through that.
I was a broken man. That
I was laughing.
after the week of getting gassed and thinking Buggy was an elite candidate. I was reckless. Satsuki, I was reckless. I was saying everybody, I was like, guys, you see what Buggy is on? My guy Buggy, that's my brother. From day one, I knew. You guys didn't believe, I believed. Next week, I was in hiding. I was a hidden man. I was not showing my face anywhere. I did too much.
Oh, it made me laugh so much. I was reading, I was like, oh my god, Raguel is going to be heated. Because they will be hyped, telling people like, I told you so. I told you so. Then the very next week, I just said, nah, he's not.
Oda didn't even give me 2 weeks. He didn't even give me 2 weeks would have been enough. The next week, oh my days, I was finished.
Yeah, that was fun. I was enjoying Crocodile being introduced back again, but the Buggy downfall made me smile a little bit. But yeah, One Piece is great, but sometimes it has its flaws. We can't deny that. But the highs, freaking highs, is one of the best storytelling ever told. So yeah, number 5.
Respectable. So for my number 5, I've got World Trigger. I recently started this series and I've been very impressed with the, as people like to say, the power system. But yeah, I really like the tactics that have been involved with the different styles of battle that they can use and the tactics that have been involved. And it's just made for an engaging read, and the characters have been cool, and I'm really liking where the story's been going. I'm not caught up yet, but it's been a fun read. I will say that. But number 4, Raguel, let's hear it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and run through this one quick. Number 4, Oshinoko. I didn't suspect my love for this series, especially an idol series, will be so so vivid. It shocked me, but I couldn't. Vivid.
Vivi.
Oh, did I say Vivi?
Ain't nobody talk about Vivi, man.
Let's not.
Sorry.
But all I know is, let me tell you the day I knew this had to be on my list. It's the day that I nearly made an alt account on YouTube to cuss somebody out because of their slander, and that's when I knew that I was doing too much. Because they were talking reckless about this series when they were doing a subscriber request me to read something, and when what they said about this, that's when I knew I was a fan. It's an enjoyable series. I wouldn't say magical, but I like the drama. I like the revenge aspect. I love the kind of magic aspect, and I love everything it's been doing so far. So yeah, man. Oshinoko.
Cosign.
I gotta get into that series.
I think you'd like it.
What do the aficionados got to say about it? Should I wait for the anime or should I just get into the manga?
It's Dogo Koba. So they did the Haru's thing, Sing For Me Yesterday. Now that was looking pretty solid. Content wise, we don't have to talk about that, but presentation, it was good. So I don't know. I feel like you could wait. I don't think people are going to spoil it.
You could wait. Yeah, I doubt you get spoiled. You could wait.
Okay, yeah, I'll wait for the anime then.
Just April, so it's not that long. But number 4, Satsuki.
All right, another agenda pick. You already know. My number 4 is Mato Seihei no Slave.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm talking about.
Big Tenko.
It is. I feel like this series is because the mangaka of this series is the same mangaka who did Akame ga Kill, if anybody doesn't know. I feel like this series is what he's wanted to do with Akame ga Kill the entire time, because although it is very serious at times and like the fights are still good and everything, he really, like in this series, he really just amped up the ecchi, because Akame ga Kill has it too, but not in overabundance like this series, because I feel like the balance in the Akame ga Kill is maybe like 20-80. That's the ratio, and in this series it's like 60-40 ecchi to action ratio. But I think the series is better for it because it's just fun. We're like we all get in the chat mid manga, talk about, we simp over Tenka, any other characters, Miria, whatever. Like the powers are always fun. It's just it's good vibes. It's good vibes.
Yeah, cosign. Great series, really fun, creative too. But Ed, let's hear your number cuatro.
Number four. This was a surprise for me, man. It was a surprise. I enjoyed the series a lot. There's a lot of sports series. It is Blue Box.
Ooh.
Blue Box. It's
If I
I
speak.
wouldn't call it I wouldn't call it a sports anime really like that. It's like the best way I can explain it is like quintessential quintuplets meets like Haikyuu a little bit and like gels into one, if that makes sense. It's been so far, I'm 50 chapters in, it's been good. It's one of the healthiest love triangles I've ever experienced so far. It might get really toxic later on, but it's really good. The relationship between Taikichi and Hina is really good. And it's badminton. That's the sports it's focused on mainly. It's a little bit of basketball as well. And yeah, the vibes are there. I was enjoying it, and the read was easy, and it was fun. The characters, the three main characters anyway, are really enjoyable, and I love how the author like goes between. You can tell he knows his stuff with badminton, and switches over to the romance aspect of it as well, and it was really enjoyable, man. It gave me great joy, and that's why it's number 4.
I respect it. Blue Box was one that kind of hit a bit of a lull for me this year, but they're back on track. But I do agree with what you're saying with I feel it mixes the sports side with the romantic aspects quite well. But in the interest of time, I'll do my 4 and 3 quick, and then you guys can do your number 3. But number 4, I have The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, and this is to just summarize, it's just a good traditional romance series where we don't have to deal with all the rubbish that harems come with, where someone tries to distract the main pairing. We get the 2 people who are potentially interested in each other. We get to see them interact. Great supporting cast. You get to see the bromance, the sisterhood, and just all round good vibes. So if you're looking for a romance series with no drama, great characters, and a kind of gripping story, I'd recommend it. And then my number 3, Ranger Rejects, written by the guy who did Quintessential Quintuplets. It's so impressive to me. Actually, I think he did want to do Ranger Reject first, but just because when I first heard he was doing a sci-fi series, I was like, do you have that in your bag? He has it in his bag, because he concluded his second big major arc, really strong finish. You feel the emotions, and then also with the arc that followed that, when we're kind of getting into the different Power Ranger squads, that was quite interesting, and it kind of showed me that we're going down this path and we're dedicated to it, and I respect that. So yeah, 2
That's pretty good. I literally just started it. I was like, I had it's the same guy that made Quintessential. I was like, what? How is it gonna? This is very different. I literally wrote at the first chapter. I was like, okay, interested straight away. So I'm glad the recommendation king likes it. So I'm gonna take it seriously.
I've been reading it since chapter 1, so I've been in there for the long haul. But
that's good. We'd love to see it.
Raguel, your number 3.
Shall I do 3 and 2 in the interest of time?
Yeah. Now that's a good idea.
Calm. 3 and 2. Third place. A special series for me, Jagan, and finished this year. Video pending. It will come out probably this Christmas. I promise. Because I need to get out all my thoughts on this special series that I thoroughly enjoyed. There's not much else I can say in regards to everything that's been said already about this series. In second place, Berserk. also started that this year, and it's immense, it's intense. It gets me heated, it gets me emotional. Like sometimes it spooks me. It has everything, and it's very, very vivid, very real, and yeah, currently really enjoying it. I do take big breaks from it. Like I'll read for a bit, then I'll just leave it. Because sometimes I feel like it's a series that's overwhelming, and you don't want to just be stuck into a dark series like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely hear that. Because I think I saw you read the Eclipse section, and I was just like, bro, you good, man? You good? Because like, that's
it finished me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, rah.
I don't even blame you. But Satsuki, 3 and number 2.
All right, my 3 and 2 both are completed series. My 3, I'm joined. I know like a lot of people beef over sports series, like which one is the best. I am on the side of Haikyuu in the beef.
Let's go.
Whatever we going up against. Slam dunk, whatever we going up, we riding with Haikyuu. I had a lot of fun with the series. King Kageyama, that's my son. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the characters. Great vibes. Like you already know what you're gonna get with sports series. You know the beats that they follow. It's just a matter of like how hype and how do they deliver it, and also too like, can they get you even if you aren't necessarily a big fan of the sport? And I'm not really a big fan of volleyball, but they move me with Haikyuu. My number 2 is Full Metal Alchemist. I already watched the anime for it. I just wanted to see how it compared to the manga. I would say like the anime and manga are both like the same quality. It's not really much difference in it. But yeah, the same way I felt about the anime is how I feel about the manga. I think it's great. I love all the characters. I think it's one of the more consistent series that you'll get. A lot of people always like get on it because it has no peaks, but it's hard to have peaks when you're operating at a high level the entire time. So yeah.
Right, my number 3 and 2. My number 3 is Kaiju no 8, and this series is really good. It's just amazing. The characters, the development, and yeah, it's a fun series. I'm happy the anime is coming soon, but I've talked about it before, but again, I'll say I'm so happy to do with a main character who's not a child for once. I think an adult and the point of view of how he is dealing with, especially when he's in a field like dominated with people younger than him. And yeah, just the storytelling, the action, the art is just beautiful, and it's just a different premise I'm enjoying right now. And yeah, Kaiju no 8. Number 2 for me is Blue Lock. This is a fun manga, man. I was looking for this manga when I was trying to fill the whole of Haikyuu. I don't think it quite has filled that whole yet, but I've seen it now as something different. No, I'm not trying to use it to fill that whole. I'm just reading it as its own individual manga, and it's really good. I think all the problems I had with Blue Lock before, the little nitpicks, I think the author is doing a great job at like fixing it. And you know, the new arc we're in right now with the different people in different clubs and like the bidding and like basically the world building is what I was complaining about a little bit for Blue Lock, but in the manga it seems to be doing that really well, and yeah, it's just a great watch. I'll always say this though, when you look at Blue Lock, do not look at it as a accurate adaptation of football. If you're looking for that, you watch Big Blues, you watch Awashi, you watch Giant Killing. Those football mangas do it so much better. But if you're looking for hype, but like a different kind of art and perspective, and like how he does like drawing with the body figures and everything, Blue Lock is the one for you, man. The hype is there, the characters are there, the drawings. It's a beautiful manga.
I like that summary. It's a good way to I guess wrap it up with Blue Lock. I liked how you added about the accuracy with the with the depiction of football, because there's a controversial aspect, but you know, you kept it real. So
I think people see it as like, oh, because it plays a fun line, like it's a little bit of like, no, it's a bit not realistic, but it's like trying to play it as realistic a little bit. But like I said, there's other shows there that can do the tactics, the mentality of football, the stress of like plays on the character, the players and stuff like that. Like Giant Killing is amazing with that. Same with Aoashi. Big Blues like does a little bit with academy and like growing up in football as well. But Blue Lock is more shonen than like a sports anime, I feel. And if you go into it like with that expectation, I think the disappointment of not like seeing the tactics. And I mean, it's a story about strikers mainly. So you're not going to get the tactics there in the first place. There's no midfielders, there's no defenders, there's no goalkeepers. So that aspect of football you're looking for might not be there for you. But if you go into it like, okay, I'm just going to watch a shonen, I feel like I'm going to enjoy it even better.
Yep, that's fair. And I'll do 2 and 1. So number 2, I have this is a series that Satsuki recommended to me. How Do We Relationship? Yes, it's a girls' love series, Yuri, and what I liked about this series is how it defines itself in the very usually oversaturated genre of romance series. How it handles, I don't want to spoil anything, so it handles certain things that most romance series I've read shy away from. And for me, I just think it's a mature take on relationships and, you know, the complexities of being in a relationship with someone, having different experience levels of having multiple partners or having no experience at all. And the 2 volumes that came out this year, I think kind of showed how it's going to continue going in that direction. And I really respect the author for trying to push, what's the phrase? I guess push the boundaries of the genre or whatever. But yeah, that's the number 2. And my number 1, my top 1 is, it's a series called Team Medical Dragon, and this is a series based in a hospital with surgeons, nurses, and what I liked about this series is how it kind of takes you into the Japanese hospital, and the constant theme that they keep repeating is the limitations of Japanese medicine, the politics within the hospital, what it takes to progress as a doctor, how certain people have factions within the hospital, the complexities of surgeries, because they're looking at this special heart operation and they need a certain surgeon. So that's like the kind of main draw. And then you get to see all these different situations he gets put in, like emergency surgery and so on and so forth. But if you're really interested in understanding like hospital dynamics, I think that's a great series for you to try out.
Add it to my list.
Yeah. But we'll move on to the number 1s for the rest of the guys. So Raguel, what was your top 1?
Number 1. Well. Sports anime, sports and manga to be more precise. Greatness, Aoashi. It's for me.
Surprise.
For me, I could not have this series as number 1. It's one that I continuously find myself trying to make sure I'm up to date with, and it's something that I enjoy, whether I'm binging it or reading it week to week. I think it's like it hits home for me extra because of my love for football, my love for sports, and it reminds me of being a kid, going training, going to trials, really pushing the boundaries of myself to really, fulfill a potential that I was trying to meet and trying to like seek for. So every time it's very like I look at it with so much like love and appreciation, and it feels very real to me, just seeing the struggles of these players and seeing the reality of how hard and how difficult it is to progress and become a pro, and especially if you have a high standard where you want to be one of the best of the best. It's crazy. And in regards to the tactician, this is definitely unlike Blue Lock, which is an elite series in itself, but this one really gives you really high IQ tactician and analysis of football as a game, a deep understanding and appreciation of like the magic and the technical aspect of playing football, and why just having ability is not enough, and why just being able to have a good touch and dribble is not enough. You have to have a good understanding of space. You have to have a good understanding of movement, how you relate and how you connect with your team, your chain, how you respond and how you move is really significant and is showcased so profoundly here. I just love every detail, and in regards to the relationships and the characters, real depth. I think it's really based in reality. I think the writer really had a full understanding of football, and you can see that they poured their love and their emotion and their heart into this series, man. It's worth the read. It's definitely worth the read. My number one.
I co-sign that for sure.
My number one, man, agenda got to carry me here because, to be honest, we didn't have a great year because the release schedule was not it, but still my favorite series. Watamote. My brief history of my series with this series, I did not like maybe the first 5-6 volumes of the series at all. Like, I was so close to dropping this series, but it hit a certain point to where it made all that suffering that I was going through with this series, because Tomoko Kuroki is a loser. When you have like the whole loner archetype MC, Tomoko really embodies that, because she stinks. She has no friends. Like, they don't
is wild.
She does. True. She actually does. They don't sugarcoat it, especially for a female character. You typically don't see that. They don't really sugarcoat it. There's no way around it. That's who she is. And what I like about the series is that she doesn't necessarily change. What actually happens, though, is that she just finds a lot of like-minded people. It's like, you go on the internet and you could be a loser or whatever in high school, but you find some friends on the internet, and because you're like-minded, you find your own circle of friends. And that's kind of what happens with Tomoko. It's a real uplifting story about, like, just be yourself, and eventually things will come to you, or you'll find people that share your same interests. Like I said, it wasn't a crazy year for Watamote fans, but still with that same idea, I had a lot of fun with the chapters, and they focus on a lot of the other characters, because I think that was one of the flaws in the beginning. We just didn't have a lot of characters to latch on to, because if you weren't really a fan of Tomoko, you weren't going to have fun in the series. But they've been doing a good job with Sachi, Minami, and all these other different characters. The comedy is always on point. Tomoko be wildin', but we here for it.
Yeah, that's definitely one you have to be patient for. Because I remember probably, like, it's kind of crazy. Like, first 100 chapters, I was not enjoying it, and then one day, I just suddenly started liking it. It was kind of weird how rapid the shift was.
It do be like that.
But we go to Ed for his number one pick.
Yes, number one pick. I think this might have been like in the top 3 many years in a row, even number one. And number one for me is Jujutsu Kaisen. And I said no.
No, I was surprised.
Yeah, it was catch-up season. I was very behind in Jujutsu Kaisen. So the binge was, I think it might have, because I don't think it was a crazy year. Like, looking at the chapters that came out this year, it wasn't a crazy year for Jujutsu Kaisen and fandom. but the catch up was good. It showed me how much I missed this world and the characters and the craziness that happens. Sometimes confusing craziness, but the craziness you have to read the chapter 2 times, kind of thing. But it was fun, man. And with my catch up, what can I say? You gotta love Maki. You have to love Hakari. Those 2 characters for me made the series a little bit more enjoyable with the crazy abilities and the craziness they've done. But yeah, man, it was a fun read. Like I said, if you're looking at the year specifically, those chapters that came out this year wasn't crazy. Like I feel like other arcs were a little bit better than this, but I have hope there, and it was just enjoyable, man. It was just a fun read, and it's the one I had to keep coming back. I was binging. Like I come back from work, eat my food, take a shower, and just like sit and just read because I was enjoying it so much. And my enjoyment is what comes first. So I loved it.
I feel that. And because we're coming to the close now, just before we end.